In the year 23 BC, a promising young man named Marcellus lay dying in agony. The 19-year-old heir to Rome's future twisted on his bed, his body burning with fever, whispering words of betrayal as life slipped away. Just weeks later, the man Livia had carefully positioned stepped closer to the throne during a grand imperial ceremony that celebrated the new order. This is not a story about a dutiful Roman wife. It is a story about one woman who engineered the Roman Empire from the shadows, bending emperors, removing bloodlines, and turning a crumbling republic into a powerful dynasty. The rivals who died so suspiciously were quietly erased from succession the moment her chosen heir rose. Stand in the cool marble halls of Augustus's Palatine Palace, 38 BC. A pregnant noblewoman named Livia flees the chaos of civil war and steps straight into the arms of Rome's rising tyrant. What looked like a perfect imperial marriage was actually the beginning of the most calculated power grab in history. To the people of Rome, Livia looked like the perfect wife. She sat quietly in the grand palace, spinning wool into fine thread and weaving cloth for her husband's togas with her own hands. She welcomed important guests with a calm smile, dressed in simple robes, her hair neatly tied back. Everyone saw a modest Roman matron who put duty and family first. Yet this image hid something much bigger. In 38 BC, Octavian, soon to be called Augustus, took Livia as his wife even though she was already married and pregnant with another man's child. He forced her first husband to step aside. Their union was no ordinary love story. It became the symbol of Rome's new world order, a fresh start after years of bloody civil wars. Behind closed doors, Livia worked as his trusted advisor. She built networks of powerful friends, shaped his public image, and helped him win the hearts of the Roman people. Her face appeared on statues across the empire. Coins carried her image. She sponsored temples and public buildings in her name. What seemed like a quiet life beside the emperor was actually a carefully built web of influence that held the new empire together. This was not a marriage. This was a political machine built on one woman's unyielding will. Rome was falling apart when Livia stepped into this new life. For years, the Republic had been torn by civil wars. Armies marched against each other, leaders were murdered, and the old ways of government were crumbling. Cities burned. Families lost everything. People were tired of endless fighting and hungry for peace. That was the exact moment Livia entered the picture. By marrying Octavian, she helped him create a bridge between the old Rome and something completely new. She understood the Roman people still loved the traditions of the Republic, the idea of honor, duty, and simple values. At the same time, she quietly helped her husband build a strong central power that looked like an empire without calling it one. Livia gave smart advice on new laws, arranged important marriages to create alliances, and shaped messages that made the changes feel natural and right. She was patient. She played the long game in a world where women were not supposed to hold any real power. No one gave her a title or a seat in the Senate, yet her words carried weight in the most private rooms of the palace. One woman's quiet counsel from the bedroom helped turn a broken, bleeding republic into the mightiest empire the world had ever seen. And this was only the beginning of how far she would go. Inside the marble walls of the Palatine Palace, the real work happened away from prying eyes. Late at night, after the public feasts ended, Livia sat with Augustus at private dinners. Servants brought wine and food while they spoke in low voices about the future of Rome. She listened carefully, offered calm advice, and slowly built a quiet network of loyal friends. Livia gathered senators, military officers, and informants who owed her favors. She helped choose who got important jobs and who lost power. When Augustus faced tough decisions on new laws, he often turned to her first. Together they created strict moral rules for Roman families, laws that appeared to bring back old values but also strengthened their control. To the public, Livia showed kindness, she gave money to the poor and built temples. But behind that gentle face, she was tightening her grip on the empire. Whispers already spread through the palace halls. Some people noticed how rivals to her plans suddenly lost favor or disappeared from important positions. Convenient accidents. Sudden illnesses. Political moves that always seemed to benefit one person, Livia's own son, Tiberius. The perfect Roman wife was becoming something far more dangerous. And the bodies were just starting to fall. And the bodies began to fall. First came Marcellus, the young man everyone expected to rule after Augustus. In 23 BC, the healthy 19-year-old heir suddenly burned with fever and died in terrible pain. Then Augustus's grandsons, Gaius and Lucius, strong young men raised to lead Rome, also fell to sudden illnesses years apart. Each time, the timing was perfect. Each time, Livia's own son Tiberius moved one step closer to the throne. Later, Agrippa Posthumus, the last direct blood heir, was exiled to a tiny island and quietly killed. Ancient writers like Tacitus, Suetonius, and Dio did not stay silent. They called Livia the evil stepmother, who cleared the path for her son with poison and cold calculation. In the dangerous world of the palace, everyone understood the rules. Stay loyal to Livia and you might survive. Cross her, or stand in the way of her son, and you simply disappeared. Friends became enemies overnight. Healthy young men died without warning. Whispers turned into open fear. Livia had removed every obstacle standing between her bloodline and total power. The price was paid in young lives cut short, grieving families, and a trail of suspicion that still haunts her name today. But she was not finished yet. But the darkest whispers came at the very end. In 14 AD, the old emperor Augustus grew sick. According to ancient stories, Livia made sure he ate nothing but fresh figs from his own garden. Some said she smeared poison on the fruit while it still hung on the tree. Augustus died on August 19. Livia did not announce his death right away. She kept the news quiet just long enough for her son Tiberius to reach the palace and take control. To the Roman people, she was still the beloved mother of the nation, kind, wise, and pious. Statues showed her as the perfect Augusta. But inside the palace, fear ruled. Historians like Tacitus and Dio wrote of the terror, rivals removed one by one, power guarded with cold silence. The powerful protected their own. No trials. No public questions. No one dared bring a case against the emperor's wife. The same system she helped build now shielded her. Public glory hid the private ruthlessness. Livia had cleared every path for Tiberius. The empire she helped create now belonged to her bloodline. Yet even she could not control what came next. With Tiberius on the throne, Livia's plan reached far into the future. Through him, her bloodline continued. Tiberius was followed by Caligula, then Claudius, and finally Nero. Every single one of these emperors carried her blood. The famous Julio-Claudian dynasty that ruled Rome for nearly 100 years was built on her careful moves, her removed rivals, and her quiet guidance. She lived to the age of 86, still powerful even after Augustus died. The Senate gave her the title, Mother of the Fatherland. They made her a goddess after her death. Temples were built in her honor. Her influence stretched long beyond the grave. Standard histories call her the ideal Roman wife, modest, loyal, and supportive. This is not what happened. She was the hidden architect who built the Roman Empire on calculated elimination. One woman, working from the shadows, had reshaped an entire civilization. But every empire built on secrets carries cracks. And the price of her success would soon become clear to everyone. Behind the shining marble temples and grand victory parades, the human cost was heartbreaking. Young Marcellus never got to become emperor. Gaius and Lucius, full of promise and strength, died before they could truly live. Their mothers wept in silence, knowing their sons had been removed like pieces on a game board. Agrippa Posthumus, the last direct heir, was dragged away to a lonely island and murdered. So many bright young lives were cut short just so one bloodline could rule. Even Livia paid a heavy price. She lived to the remarkable age of 86, but power left her terribly alone. She watched the empire she built fall into the hands of cruel and unstable men. Tiberius became bitter and paranoid. Caligula turned monstrous. The very family she fought so hard to protect spiraled into madness and terror. In her quiet moments, surrounded by servants and statues of her glory, she must have felt the cold weight of every choice she had made. The public saw only the grandeur, golden processions, towering temples raised in her name, and crowds cheering, "Mother of the Nation." But in the shadows of the palace, the ruthlessness never stopped. Livia had won everything she wanted. Yet in the end, even winners can be haunted by what they destroyed to get there. And that is the true secret of her empire. Livia was not an anomaly. She was the prototype of the woman behind the throne, proving that in a man's world, true power often wears a gentle veil of virtue. Other empresses quickly learned her playbook. Agrippina the Younger followed the same path, removing rivals so her son Nero could rule. Time after time, smart, patient women stepped out of the shadows to shape emperors and entire empires. The pattern never really stopped. Even today, the most powerful decisions in governments, companies, and palaces are often made by unseen hands working quietly behind the scenes. One woman rewrote history not with armies, but with patience, poison, and a perfect public image. And no one stopped her because the empire needed her. The Roman people wanted peace and strength after years of chaos. They gladly accepted the image of the ideal wife while she pulled the hidden strings. That is the actual secret of the Roman Empire. Not the famous legions, not the mighty emperors, but the woman who truly built it from the shadows. The machine she created kept running long after her death, shaping rulers and empires for centuries. If you enjoyed this story of hidden power, grab the full ebook on the hidden women who shaped empires. Subscribe for more untold dark stories from history, and drop a comment below telling me which powerful woman we should expose next. This is not ancient history. It is the blueprint still used by those who rule from behind the curtain.